Hi, welcome to High Growth with HTDC. I'm your host, Cindy Matsuki. This is where we talk about all things tech, innovation, entrepreneurship, and manufacturing. And there's a ton of awesome things going on in Hawaii, so here's a place that we like to share them with you. So my guest today is Jessica Grazziotin. Grazziotin. Woo, that's a tough one. She is a KCC student and founder of Engineers for a Sustainable World, ESW. Thank you so much for being with me today. And you are leading the charge for women in engineering.
Yes.
Hey.
And I do want to make sure I don't take full credit for founding ESW as well. That was really Jason Salseg. And then I, and Gina have been building it together over the summer. But yeah, so just getting projects and the organization of it.
So how did that come about? How did you guys?
Jason is a student at KCC who wanted to get involved in a club, and I was at math club actually, and he stopped by and just said he had done his research and found this chapter, or this national organization called ESW, Engineers for a Sustainable World.
Okay.
And he was like, that's perfect for Hawaii. Out of all the national engineering organizations, that's perfect here. And why isn't it already here?
Yeah.
And he contacted them. They flew out. They checked out the different campuses, and they said, let's do it. And we started in the spring. A few members worked on a solar cart that would power cell phones on campus.
That's cool.
And we've also worked on a rain garden as well.
Oh, nice.
And I'm working on a lot of the web and media stuff. So getting the word out, making a web page, and getting social media up and running. And
how many members do you guys have?
As of now, the set number isn't in. I would say we're at around at least 15 members who really care and want to contribute to the club, as far as students are concerned. But what we want to do is become a community club where we're involved with anyone in the community that wants to work on a sustainability project, and we would just do that sustainability project using our knowledge in engineering that we're learning at school. So
nice. So yeah, I was going to ask, how do you guys select projects to work on?
It's really based on need. So well, the solar cart. It was through Solar Cool Hawaii, which is a connection Jason had, and they donated solar panels. And so that's where that one came about. And then the rain garden, we teamed up with the ecology department at school. So, again, just we want to bring in a collaboration of all kinds of fields because sustainability covers everything.
Definitely.
So we have a team member, Alex Lum, who's in the ecology field, and he wanted to build a rain garden. And with the ecology team saw this area that would be perfect for a garden, but they couldn't control the rainfall, and so we decided we would build this.
You would engineer it.
Yeah, we would engineer it, and it's a series of a big jug and then some bamboo, and it's all placed strategically, so it gets just the right amount of water flow and at the right rate and the right dispersion. So.
Wow, that is cool. And do you have to be an engineer?
No, absolutely not. One of our faculty members is teaches ecology classes. Another is my math professor,
nice.
And we really want to encourage anyone who wants to work on anything related to sustainability to join, just so we can spread the word and have projects to do, and then it gives us students an opportunity to practice our skills and, really see how they apply.
On real projects.
Yeah. And build resumes, and it benefits in so many ways. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And so it sounds like you don't have to be a student at KCC.
No.
So it's open to just students, though? It's a student chapter?
It's considered a student chapter as far as like our club. But as far as as far as projects to work on, you don't have to be a student at all. Yeah, so anyone's welcome to work on a project, but as far as being listed as student members, we're looking at students just at KCC specifically, because there is actually another chapter at UH Manoa that the students can, once they transfer, they can join that chapter. And that was just, there's no competition at all. It's more just on an organization level through the National Society. It made more sense. So.
Interesting. That's very cool. And then, is that part of your initiative to bring more women into engineering?
Yes, absolutely. So for more women to be in engineering, I mean, out here, I was pleasantly surprised that there actually isn't such a small number as I had previously assumed. But as far as girls my age that are interested, I feel like there really aren't that many. Today I was in my Cal 4 class and I was the only girl. And I was wanting to talk about Ladies in Tech Night. And And I turned around and I realized I was the only girl. But at the same time, I've met people like you and people at High Capacity where I interned, and one of our vice president is Gina Kwan, and she is a girl. But yes, I want to encourage younger girls really to get involved, and specifically in tech as well. Not only engineering, but any kind of tech. Because for the longest time, I had avoided tech courses. For example, one of the required courses you have to take to be an engineer is a basic coding course.
Oh, yeah.
And I had avoided it for a whole semester, and then I took it, and I was dreading it and just nervous because I had never done coding before, and I thought I'd be really horrible at it. And about a week in, I was in this class, and I realized, wait a minute, this is just like MySpace. And I was hooked. I was like, wow,
that's awesome.
I've done this before, and I was pretty good at it. And as I continued the class, we worked on little hackable electronics, and I realized, wow, I could do so many things. And then I started my internship at High Capacity, and then it was just a whole corridor of doors that were open to me. As far, I was working with professionals that taught me different languages and computer coding languages and things. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, so I really would like to reach out to younger girls and let them know that that tech is everywhere and everything now, and that you can take tech and you can apply it to things you already like, because there's so many ways to do that now. And so you don't have to think of tech as this separate entity, its own field. That you work on
separately.
Yeah, like it's its own field. No, like it's in every field, and you can apply it to what your likes and interests are. So.
Definitely. And I know you have a cool project that we want to get to soon. Hang on, we're going to take a quick break, but I do want to come back to that because that's awesome. So my guest today is Jessica Grazziotin, and she's a student at KCC and one of the founders of Engineers for a Sustainable World. And we're talking about women in tech and all things tech. So this is High Growth with HTDC, and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Donna Blanchard. I'm the host of Center Stage here on ThinkTech Hawaii. Center Stage airs every Wednesday at 2 o'clock, and of course you can check out our archives on YouTube or on ThinkTech Hawaii anytime you like. Why should you do that? Because this is an arts show that I believe is making a difference in lives. We talk with artists of various ilk. We talk with painters and writers, playwrights, novelists, poets, sculptors, dancers, you name it, directors, actors, of course. And we don't only talk about what people do, but we talk about how they do it. And my favorite part of the conversation, we talk about why they do it. And it's really common on this show to hear people say, wow, I didn't think about it that way. And it's very common to hear people afterwards who have seen the show say the same thing. And I hear all the time that people are inspired by the conversations that we have. So why don't you join us and be inspired too? That's Center Stage on Wednesdays at 2 o'clock. We'll see you center stage.
Hi, welcome back. This is High Growth with HTDC. I'm your host, Cindy Matsuki, and we are on ThinkTech Hawaii. My guest today is Jessica Grazziotin. Ooh, but first, before we get to that, I have a lot of things to tell you about. There's a lot going on this month. So, tonight, Jessica is actually letting me know about Ladies in Tech Night at High Capacity. It's going to be at the Manoa Innovation Center from 5:30 to 7:30. This is the event we've been chatting about, and it's the place to feel awesome and celebrate being a woman in technology. And it's open to everyone, guys included. So check it out tonight, 5:30 to 7. And right after that is Hardware Night at High Cap. So please feel free to stay around. Tomorrow is Wednesday, August 26th, Hardware Wednesday. This is going to be our Wetware Wednesday Software Developer Networking event with a twist. This event is brought to us by the University of Hawaii College of Engineering and the Chamber of Commerce of Hawaii. We'll be teaming up with their light manufacturing group to hear about the latest in light industrial manufacturing in Hawaii. That's tomorrow, August 26th at Holo Holo Bar and Grill, and the food is yummy, so please come check it out. This Thursday, August 26th, is the HBCA Luncheon on all things energy in Hawaii. We have the perfect storm of economic and environmental conditions that make it the world's best test bed for innovation. Featured panelists include Rick Robertson, Senior Director of P&W at GE Ventures, Colin Yost, Chief Operating Officer at Revolution, and Mark Click, Energy Administrator at the Hawaii State Energy Office, with Don Lippert, Director of the Energy Accelerator, moderating. All you wanted to know about energy in Hawaii and more. Check that out. That's this Thursday, the HBCA luncheon at the Pacific Club. August 31st to September 4th is the 41st Annual International Conference on Very Large Databases, the VLDB, which is interesting. And it's going to be held at the Hilton Waikoloa Hotel on Hawaii Island. VLDB is a premier annual international forum for data management and database researchers, vendors, practitioners, application developers, and users. The conference will feature research talks, tutorials, demonstrations, and workshops. It will cover current issues in data management, database, and information systems research. Database management and databases remain among the main technological cornerstones of the applications of the 21st century. With the emergence of big data, data-related technologies are becoming more important than ever. So this would be the conference that you need to check out if that's something you're interested in. August 31st to September 1st at the Hilton Waikoloa. September 23rd to the 24th, UH Manoa's Office of Technology Transfer and Economic Development, in partnership with the Hawaii Business Roundtable, will be hosting the Future Focus, the Hawaii Innovation Initiative's Forum on Energy, Cybersecurity, and more, at the Hawaii Convention Center. For all Hawaii researchers, scientists, investors, innovators, and technology businesses interested in emerging technologies, federal resources, and available opportunities in growing innovation ecosystems, this is the place to be. So save the date and register soon. And I wanted to let you know that HTDC offers sponsorship opportunities for events that align with our mission of growing the tech and entrepreneurship ecosystem. If you're putting together an event that builds upon innovation, startups, tech, and more, please visit our site at htdc.org for sponsorship information and the application. Don't forget, if you need some small business legal advice, every other Wednesday, HTDC offers free legal guidance in partnership with the Business Law Corps. You can sign up for a 30-minute appointment at the Manoa Innovation Center. Please visit htdc.org/legal to sign up for your free 30-minute appointment. And lastly, calling all SBIR Phase 1, 2, and 3 winners. HTDC offers state matching funds for up to 50% of your SBIR award. That actually goes up to $500,000. So, if you've won an award, please contact us at sbir@htdc.org. All right, that is a lot of announcements. But now back to our guest, Jessica Grazziotin. So we were talking about how tech is in everything, and you can kind of inject tech into something you're interested in.
Yes.
And so you did a very cool project
Yes.
at HiCap. So let's hear about that. And how did that come about?
So for my internship, we had to come up with a research project, and at High Capacity, which is a hackerspace, makerspace, and tech community in Manoa, I was placed there, and they really let me take the reins and decide on my own projects. So I worked on web development and a series of other projects, but this one in particular was an opportunity presented to High Capacity to have a panel at Comic-Con.
No way.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
so they were given this opportunity to host a panel on hackable electronics to get cosplayers excited and informed about how they can use hackable electronics to make their costumes super
More
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah. So those superpowers that you can't attain with clothing alone, you could potentially achieve that with these electronics.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and so I chose Storm as my character, and I created this device that allowed me to have white eyes when I wanted to control the storm, and for the eyes to not be white when I didn't. So we 3D printed all of the pieces here, except for these buttons, which were purchased. And inside, I'll open it up actually.
Wow, so did you do the drawings for the 3D printing too?
Yes, so
Wow.
we did the
That's
drawings,
awesome.
and my mentor Isis showed me this free website called 3d10.com or .org. Number 3, letter D, and then TIN. And you could just have a free template to design all these pieces.
Nice.
So there's a little compartment for the battery. Here is the charger and converter to convert that 3.7 volt battery for the 5 volt mini Arduino Pro. And we needed the 5 volt to power the 5 volt lights that are inside.
Nice.
And it's all hooked up to a necklace, and it's
Some
all
bling.
controllable here. So I'll show it off now. So this is the power, and it has 2 phases, so it can either flicker as if I'm summoning the storm. I'll go ahead and put them on actually.
Yeah.
And I had the wig I had hid the wonderful wig hid all of these
All the
wires,
wiring.
but
That's awesome.
then I also could hit this button, and it could really illuminate. It builds up, and
my
it has a really bright light.
That is awesome.
It's so cool.
And you built that.
Yes, with a lot of help from my team at the Hackerspace Makerspace.
And can you still see?
Yes, I can, because we 3D printed these little barriers.
The pieces that hold the LEDs?
Yes, and so there's little slits, so I can see right through, and it also protects my eyes from the bright light.
Smart.
Yep.
That is awesome.
So other than the chain and some hot glue, everything is made out of tech here.
Wow.
So, yeah.
How long did this take you?
Actually, leave it on. It took 3 weeks from start to finish. Wow. So that was really a challenge for myself as part of the research, was to see if it was doable, it could be done, and a challenge for the hackers, for High Capacity as well, because it's a place where you can get mentorship, and so it pushed them as well to be present and be able to answer questions and help me when I needed, and we all did it together.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you represented HiCap at Comic-Con?
Yes.
How did that go?
It was great. I've actually been invited back to speak at the amazing Comic-Con that's coming again.
Yeah.
And
That's great.
yeah, so we had a great turnout, and more importantly, there were several girls that were interested.
Awesome.
And so it was such a treat to see girls raising their hands, and they were asking questions about the environment for women in tech here. And my answer was that I had the same question, and I was pleasantly surprised that everyone in the tech community is not only so welcoming, but they're just as welcoming to women as they are to men.
Oh, good.
So there's
Very
no,
good.
I feel like it's very gender equal, accepting.
Good.
And
That's good.
I would just that's why I want to start spreading the message that, you know, there's kind of the stereotype that revolves around the
There
computer,
is. There is. I
the
mean,
tech
especially
industry, you know, like
in the
some
news.
guy in a dark room on a computer late at night,
Harassing.
you know. And no, like hackers and makers and anyone involved in tech can be anyone. You don't have to fit some sort of stereotype to do these really cool things. So
That's awesome.
yeah, and so like women are welcome, and all the men are really nice and friendly too. So you know,
That's great. And when you say you want to reach out to younger girls, like how young? Like, do you want to start?
as from my age down. I mean, there's already some groups doing really cool things. So
good.
I listened to Bite Marks Cafe the other day with someone from Purple Maya, who is working with schools, I believe middle schools in particular, and they thought, okay, at middle school they have enough of an education so, you know, we can communicate clearly, but they haven't reached that age where they're too cool to learn something new. And I also spoke with the computer science teacher at Waikiki Elementary, who is teaching HTML and yes, and teaching CSS.
Oh my gosh!
to
At
the
elementary
kids.
school.
Yes, and you know that's really towards the fifth graders, the higher
Still,
level
that's
elementary
great.
school students. But you know when you're young, you're a sponge, and thankfully I haven't lost that absorbency, and so I picked it up pretty quick. But and that's what I want to get the message across too, is that you know it's never too late to learn these things,
Definitely.
and everyone who's in the industry is learning these things constantly. There's always innovation.
That's true.
With new languages.
Everything keeps changing.
You know, so I've spoke last night. I had dinner with a woman who worked as a coder in the 80s, and she worked on C. Yeah, and she worked on C, and now there's so many other languages, and she was just saying how she's been so distant from the industry, she doesn't even know the newer languages. But it's really intuitive, and it's all logic based, which is what I love.
So I think if you know basic programming structure, right?
Yes.
You could probably pick up a new language
Yes,
pretty
definitely.
quickly. Oh, that's so cool. We're going to take another quick break.
Okay.
We will be right back. This is High Growth with HTDC. I'm your host, Cindy Matsuki. We're on ThinkTech Hawaii, and we are talking to Jessica Grazziotin. I'm going to get that. And we'll be right back. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Jay Fidel. I'm host of Hawaii, the State of Clean Energy, which is our flagship show, which plays 4 to 5 p.m. every Wednesday. And the supporters of that show are Hawaii Energy Policy Forum and Hawaii Energy. And luckily enough, we have representatives of both of them right here today to tell you more about what they think about the show. Sharon Moriwaki at my left is co-chair of Hawaii Energy Policy Forum, and she goes first. Sharon?
Thank you. Thank you, Jay. I'm so glad that we have this Hawaii, the State of Clean Energy. This was 2 years ago when we started this, and we have continued it because it's so important, and there's so many developments happening across the state, and we hope you'll tune in every Wednesday, 4 to 5. It's wonderful.
And Ray is Hawaii Energy. Ray, what is your thought about the same subject?
Well, I agree completely with Sharon that we are talking about every Wednesday, 4 to 5. We talk about some of the most important subjects that are affecting the islands now and into the future. Energy, clean energy, we need it. We often run into new ideas that we had not thought about before. We did just today, and I think we're going to have more of that in the future. So come on down and watch us 4 to 5 on Wednesdays, and we'll see what happens.
We'll see you then. Aloha.
Aloha.
Hi, welcome back. This is High Growth with HTDC. I'm your host, Cindy Matsuki, and we are talking with Jessica Grazziotin of KCC and ESW, Engineers for a Sustainable World, which sounds like a very awesome program. So as a female wanting to get into the tech industry, what is the biggest challenge that you faced so far?
I feel like with tech, you're dealing with things that are very complicated to someone who's not in the industry yet, and they're not that complicated. They're just complex, and so that makes them scary. And then you're also dealing with some things that could potentially cost a lot of money depending on what your idea is. So when you start bringing up these possibilities of ideas you have yourself, sometimes you don't immediately get a yes. So I feel like the biggest struggle has been taking all those, not necessarily no's, but taking the brush asides and finding a way to get that yes.
And keep moving forward.
And, you know, like I have this event that I want to host, for example. We want to make a makerspace night at KCC. So there's a lot that goes into that. You know, the venue, and if we're going to have food, so that costs money. You know, there's always more things than you think of. You know, like it sounds like that's a great idea. It should be easy. But it's really just staying focused and not taking no for an answer. Taking no, not that way, you know, and saying, okay, well, what way is there?
Persisting.
Yeah, so it goes hand in hand with engineering anyway, because you're really just taking what you're given, the laws of physics, and figuring out what you can do with them. So it kind of comes naturally, and it makes it really fun too.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what's next for you? What's next on your plate?
Well, tonight is Ladies in Tech Night, so that's first base. Next, I want to organize that makerspace and try to create more, build the ESW club itself. And I'm also going to be a part of a team for CANSAT, which is where we work with the International,
Space Station.
Yes, so we work with NASA and
That's awesome.
And a few other labs affiliated with them. And we do a project where we send a craft. They provide us with a rocket, but we're studying the actual craft that is on the rocket. So it's going to shoot up, and then we want to study what happens when it comes down. So give it a safe landing, study the temperature, and have a camera that'll view everything.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it'll be a really cool project and I'm going to work on the electrical side.
Wow, nice. So what kind of engineering are you going into?
Computer engineering.
Computer engineering? Is that a thing?
It is now. It is. Like just a few years ago, it started being offered at UH Manoa.
So what is it? Is that like a merging of?
Yeah. So all of my courses are titled at EE, electrical engineering. So it is a subsect of that, but they do offer its own bachelor degree now. The other divisions of EE would be
Interesting.
more physics-based and theoretical, and then the other would be systems. So studying, how this computer talks with other computers on a network, and or this electronic has, it needs to be run by this computer and this charge, and so, yeah. Lots of
Very
different
cool.
varieties.
But so now there's a computer engineering
Uh-huh.
within electrical.
Yes. Yes. So computer would be more of the hardware.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Especially building, if you get to build.
Yes. Yes.
Nice. Very good. So where can we find more information about tonight's event and also about the club?
Okay. So for tonight's event, you should check out highcapacity.org. That is the venue and the hacker makerspace I've been interning at.
Awesome.
And ESW, you should check out eswkcc.wordpress.com. That's the site that I set up. So check it out and let us know what you think about it if you have any ideas.
That's great. Very good. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
I'm excited for you, and I definitely think we need more women in tech,
Yes.
all kind of tech. So
Yeah, join
we'll be
us.
supporting you guys. And thank you, everybody, for joining us today. This is High Growth with HTDC. I'm your host, Cindy Matsuki, and we've been talking with Jessica Grazziotin of KCC and the Engineers for a Sustainable World.
Yes.
And this is ThinkTech Hawaii, and we'll see you next time.